This is Life Coach D coming at you once again, wanting to share some more footage from my leadership conferences this year in 2014, which has been an amazing year. As I spoke earlier, I've been able to create my own company and release my first book, as well as publish The Mentality of Man from an African American perspective. I hope you are inspired by these videos that I'm showing because they speak directly to the soul. They speak on leadership, they speak on being motivated, and they speak on finding your identity and defining yourself. The first conference that I did was called Stand Up, Stand Out, and Stand Strong. And I want you guys to do that. Be encouraged, be excited, and remember that you are destined for greatness. Have a good one.
I went to Tennessee State University, it's African American University in Nashville. I began to do the same thing. I was active in sports. I was active in the drama program. And all of a sudden, here is all of the things that I thought were the things that were going to set me up to fail. They actually were a bridge to my success, if I can use that term. All of this stuff I can utilize. And I did the same thing. I was mentoring in college. I began to mentor neighborhood kids and do all these different things that led me to where I am today. So from Tennessee, you guys are back around it. I'll tap mine here soon. So we had the acting thing. We had the writing thing. I decided that I wanted to come to California to be a writer and a producer and do some things in the entertainment industry, which I did a little bit, a lot of stuff out of San Diego. And now De Niro's being redefined because I'm trying to work my way back to Hollywood, and hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully I can write my way into it. But there was college, then there was more college when I got here, of course moved to California, and then I began to venture even more. And now people call me a life coach. I'm mentoring grown folks with kids now at this point because of all of the things that was established in me really early that started off being a bad situation that ended up being something that was, like I said, a stepping stone for me to get to where I am. Began to mentor, got into education. I began to work in special education. My heart was there because I remember being the kid who was in the special ed class, who was the one that was looked down upon and given pretty much no hope. I was growing up in the classroom of just people, everybody, and I couldn't see that well, but I was smart, I could read and whatever. I mean, it took me a little bit longer, but I was coming in this classroom. So all of a sudden, here I am in California, now I'm in education, and I'm encouraging kids with disabilities because I can remember how it was being that kid. Then coaching came. What I didn't say was when I went to Tennessee State, I went to Tennessee State for 2 reasons. They had an amazing track and field program. But being a person who began to act and do some communication things, I also went there because that's where Winfrey graduated from. And I was like she still is like one of the people I looked up to. And so that was one of the reasons I went to Tennessee State. However, the year that I got to Tennessee State, it was the first year they went from one conference to the next and male track was kicked out. So I was only able to do track for 1 year. Very, very disappointing. And of course, I began to do some other things to fill that time. And so when I had the opportunity to begin to coach track and field in the mid 1990s, it was like a dream come true, so to speak, because I figured if I could not live out my dream in track and field, maybe I could help some other people fulfill their dream. And I'm here to say, in 20 years of coaching, just by the grace of God, you can't take credit for kids' talents. Probably had 10 state meet visits, one CIF championship, and about 7 or 8 league titles. And this is all being a disabled person, legally blind, who doctors told me, you will not even get an opportunity to go to college. So I said all that to say this for you guys. Never let anyone else define you. You have to find something inside of you that says, irregardless of whatever is going on around me, whether family, whether society, whether school, whether people around me, I'm going to define who I am because I am the executive of my own success. And I want you guys to remember that. One of the things that encourages me the most today is the feedback that I get from a lot of people that I've mentored over the years. What's really cool is when you just kind of do things because it's you, when it comes back around, it feels even better because you realize that you didn't offer or you didn't charge or you weren't looking for something to come back, but it comes back. Have you guys heard the saying, pay it forward? Okay, yeah? So even today, as you guys are sitting here listening to me in this passive learning environment, I want you guys to remember, whenever you have an opportunity to pay it forward, please do. Because you guys are getting something right now in this room that the majority of peers your age you're probably in school right now or doing other things, but you got to take the opportunity to come and say, you know what, I want to become a little bit better. I want to know a little bit more. So pay it forward. Pay forward what you have. Pay forward what you learn, because it's always going to come back to you. Let me say this. And all of those different definitions of things that people would try to say to me and try to put over me, actually did decree it over me. Just kind of put the rejection arm, stiff arm if we use a football term, but just kind of stiff arm and said, it's not going to happen this way. And so here I am today. After being redefined here recently, you add public speaking to it. There's several opportunities opened up in the last couple of years for me to be able to come and speak to young people, which I love absolutely.
Never be content with someone else's definition of you. Instead, define yourself by your own truths, by your own morals, by your own beliefs, and your unique understanding of who you are and how you've come to be. Never be content until you're absolutely happy with the person that God has created you to be from the very day of your creation.